Hi, I'm Dr. Norman Roy, and welcome. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the different energy systems of the body, and then I'm going to see if I can make energy real for you. I'm going to be introducing you to a way in which you can start to see the energy, a way in which you can start to feel the energy, and even more importantly, what you can start to do with the energy to help yourself. Now, I'm going to start by talking about a cell phone. If I was to take my cell phone and dial your number, obviously I would be talking to you. But if I would press the number and I'm one number off, I'm not going to be talking to you, I'd be talking to someone else. You say, well, of course. Well, the point being, cell phones work on frequencies. And it's very specific frequency. So your phone number is a very specific frequency, and it's different from everyone else's. Now, as much as you or I would intend to call you, and I believe I'm going to call you, and I'm going to take the actions and punch the number in, if I don't have the right number and I'm not tuned in to that frequency, I'm not going to get the result that I'm expecting. It is the same thing with energy healing. You can intend to do the healing, believe you're going to do it, take the actions, but you have to get tuned in to the frequencies to actually get the results of healing. Now, it's the same thing if you take, say, a garage door opener. If I go to my garage and I press that button, the door goes up, but it doesn't work on my neighbor's. Why? Again, it's all frequencies. Now, I go over this because many times when you talk energy, it's something that many can't see and they're not exposed to, so it's easy to say it doesn't exist. But it's to show you that energy and frequencies are part of our everyday life. Now, if I take these two magnets and hold them this way, they're obviously attached to each other. And it looks like there's nothing between them. But there really is a very small space. Now, if I take the magnets and just kind of like separate them, turn them around, and go to bring them together, see, they start to fight each other. And if you ever tried working with magnets, you say, well, of course, I know that. With the different poles, they're going to act differently. But if you look at them like this, and I ask you, is there anything between those magnets? Most people are going to say no. Why? Because you can't see anything. But when you bring those magnets together, you can definitely tell there is something between those magnets. It's an energetic field. And that energetic field is around everything. It's around you, every person, every plant, every animal, everything. Now, if you take this and you start to feel that resistance and you start to say, well, push them harder together. Well, you notice the harder you push together, the harder it pushes away from you. So next time you hear the old saying is if you can't do something, just try harder, you see that doesn't work because the harder you push towards something, the harder it's going to repel and push against you. So let's kind of go over now some of the energy systems that actually are in the body. Okay, so let's start by going over what the different energy systems of the body are. I'm going to start by just putting a stick figure here. And the first thing what I call are the physical energies. In other words, there's the nervous system, which kind of goes to all the muscles, organs, tissues, cells of the body. And going along with that is what's called the perineural system. That kind of goes to all the different organs at a faster rate. And then also it's called the fascial system, which is like a lining that kind of surrounds the entire body. And each one of these has a faster and faster transmission. But then also you have within the body this concept, this energy system called the innate intelligence. And the innate intelligence is what actually runs the body. Now, also another part of the energy system we can put up through here, it's dealing with the mind. Because you have the conscious minds we talked about, but also within the entire body is the subconscious mind and the other than conscious mind. And the mind communicates with the body, and the body communicates with the mind. You also have this layer of energy that goes around the body, through the body, and actually is above the body, and that's called the meridian system. And there's meridians that go through all the different organs and different parts of the body. And again, this can be accessed also, it's about an inch above the body. You then have the series of energy centers that are called chakras. In each one of, there's like 7 of these that are the major ones, and each one of these corresponds to a major nerve center within the body. The difference is the chakras themselves go to different physical parts of the body. They also are involved with different emotions that can occur, and they're also important with different themes that can occur within life. Now, when you put all these together, you then start getting this layer around the body, and this is called an etheric layer, and it's actually the physical double. And if you go to look at someone, this is what you can sometimes see right around them. Then around that, there's another energy layer, and that's called the mental layer. And around that is another layer, and that's called the emotional layer. So when you start putting all these energies together, you get this aspect that many call the aura. Now, when you take this deep within the system, deep within the body, there is this major center right down in through here, and that's called the soul. And that's actually who you really are. That's the essence of you. Now, when all these energy systems are balanced and they're working and flowing properly, you now have the environment for health. It doesn't stop there, though. You also have out here this energy system. It's called the universal intelligence. And the universal intelligence is what runs the universe. It's the law of gravity, for example. The seasons come, the seasons go. You also have this other layer of energy, and that's called the universal consciousness. And this is where it contains all information of, they say, past, present, and yes, future. Then you have this other ultimate energy, say, way up over here, and that's the supreme energy, and that's what we call God. Now, this is not a separated unit. So, for example, you have the universal intelligence here. Well, you have the connecting part in the body, which is the innate intelligence. You have the universal consciousness, and that's connected here with the subconscious and the other than consciousness. And then you have this frequency of God, and that's also within us, and that's called the soul. And you have this constant communication back and forth throughout this whole body-mind energetic system, going back through the universe and back. And when all this communication system is the way it should be, and you have a normal flow, then you have this condition of health. And this is the aspect that leads to healing. So when you look at it in this way, yes, you are a physical being, but you are also a total energetic being. Now, the energy itself is 100% perfect. There's no problems and there's no wrongs. Well, if the energy is perfect, how can you get sick? How does disease start? Well, one of the main ways in which disease starts is basically through the thoughts, through the emotions. You may get angry, upset at someone, this shouldn't be the way it is, don't like something. And what happens is it registers in the brain. And the different parts of the brain where the different emotions are registered correspond, say, to a certain part of the body. Now, if it's something that the body wants to protect itself, it shoots this out into the energy system. So now what happens is this communication system that normally is within the body is now interfered with, because as the energy system comes through here and it starts to be transmitted through the energy systems of the body and through the universe, is directed back into the body. This will create different pressures in the body, and it starts causing different reactions in the body. So for example, the immune system gets lowered, the inflammation starts increasing, and it starts creating a breakdown cycle, which can lead to pain and disease. So what happens is what you need to do is, one, release the blockage within the energy system, and then go in and just release the corresponding physical part and the corresponding emotional part. Once this is done, you have restored the communication and again continue on with the process of health and healing. Now I know this looks like it's just one thing that happens, but this happens several times throughout the day, several times throughout your life. So again, it's going in and restoring the communication from above down, inside out, and also from above down, inside out. Once again restoring you to that aspect of being a total energetic being. Now taking this, let's go on now and show you how you can start to see the energy, how you can start to feel the energy, and as I mentioned earlier, more importantly, what you can start to do with the energy to help yourself. Now let me give you an example of how you can start to actually see the energy. Now think about it. Have you ever looked, say on a hot summer day, the roof of a building, or maybe looking at the road, and you kind of see these like wavy lines, that are floating above? Well, that's the energy. That is actually energy that you're seeing. Now another thing what you can do is take your hand and just go place it on a mirror or a window and hold it there. And when you do that, after a few seconds, you're going to start to see this hue, this lining around your hand. That's the energy. And if you take your hand away, you'll see the imprint of where your hand was, and then you'll see this halo effect around it. Again, you're seeing the energy. Now, when you do that, take it to the next step. What you can do is just start to look at somebody. And what you want to do is almost focus behind the person. And after a while, when you let your eyes just kind of start going tired and looking beyond, you're going to start to see this almost outline around the person. That outline is a layer of energy that you're seeing that's being emitted from the body. So that's a way in which you can start to see the energy. Now, a way in which you can start to feel the energy is, again, let's just kind of go back to the magnets. If you've never dealt with magnets, just get a couple of them and just start holding them together and start to bring them together till you feel that resistance. This is a way in which you're going to actually start to realize there is something here between two physical objects that you can't see. There really is an energetic magnetic field. So I want you to just do that to get that feel of what that's like. And once you do that, then we're ready basically for the next way to show you how you can start to feel the energy. Okay, so now you've seen with the magnets how you can start to feel the energy. Now if you do this right after you use the magnets and put them down, if you've never done this before, this is probably going to be the easiest way to do it. Just take your hands now and start to bring your hands together and hold them real close without touching them. And if you hold your hands there, after a few seconds, you're going to start to feel a little tingling within the hands, between your fingers. And if you bring your hands kind of in and out, and just kind of come real slow like that, you're eventually going to start feeling like there's something between your hands. And the more you do it, it's going to feel almost like a stretching taffy. You may feel a little tingling, you may feel a little cold feeling, warm feeling, electrical type feeling, but just keep doing this until you start to actually feel something between your hands. Now, yes, is it easy to take your hands and just do this and say, I don't feel anything? Obviously, absolutely. But take the time and actually just bring them close. Say, what would it be like if I could actually feel that energetic field, that magnetic field? And after you do this for a period of time, you will start to feel it, and it will come in real fast. So now you know an idea or a way you can start to see the energy, what you can do to start to feel the energy. What can you do with that energy now? Well, again, first start by getting that feel within the hands until you can feel that little resistance. And then let's say you have either a shoulder that's sore or a knee that's sore. Just take your hands and, place them over the area that's sore, where there's pain. And just kind of hold them. Again, get that sensation of there's something in there. You can feel that energetic field, that magnetic field, and just kind of hold that. And when you do that, you could probably notice that after a while, whatever, if you have, for example, your hands around your knee, the knee is going to start to feel a little warm. You'll actually start to feel like something's going through it, something's around it. You'll start to actually feel that energy. And as you do this, the energy that's around the knee, for example, will actually start to decrease the pain, decrease the inflammation, and start it to feel good and help you on your way to health. So I want you to just take these concepts that are today, and especially if they're new, take the time to practice them. Start to see the energy. Start to feel the energy, and start using the energy to kind of help you decrease pain, to start feeling better, and just kind of work your way on getting into that avenue of health. And I'm Dr. Norman Roy, and we'll see you next time as our conversation continues.